Fall into harvest season with Fresh Hop Idaho 7. All right, welcome back to the Confluence Tap Room. I'm Josh, production manager, and I'm joined by
John Martin, co-founder and head brewer.
And we're here for another Beer a Week release video. We've been a little lax or a little spotty lately. I actually filmed the wrong videos last week, so that's why you didn't see videos for Campfire and what else did we release last week? Sometimes it's hard to even remember. Anyway, Fresh Hop.
Like Nessie with hazelnut.
That's right, hazelnut Nessie.
Yeah.
John remembers. Steel trap.
No.
So part of the reason is that I struggle is because we got three beers this week, and then 10 beers next week. So
Stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one we're going to talk about, John, is the Fresh Hop Idaho 7.
Yeah.
And we just released a couple weeks ago Fresh Hop Amarillo, which is one we've done a few years. It's definitely like a favorite of a couple. John, Daryl on the Brew House, who you guys have seen on some of these videos. They love the Fresh Hop Amarillo, so we got to do that one. But it's kind of nice to mix it up and have
something different.
Yeah.
So over the years, we've done Centennial and Citra, Mosaic, along with the Amarillo. So now this is Idaho 7, and it's pouring a little effervescent for me.
Oh, yeah.
I was giving it a little bit of an aggressive
little aggressive, but it's
yeah.
So yeah, this malt bill is it identical, John, to the Amarillo?
It's now. So the Amarillo we backed off on Golden Promise just a touch and gave it a little more raw 2-row. This has I think the same malt bill as last year's Fresh Hop Amarillo. So
the difference here is very similar. Obviously, the difference here is going to be all in the hop. Fresh hops, for those that don't know, like almost all hops the industry uses, they're kiln dried, they're pelletized, and they're stored cold. So they're a processed product. But when they harvest, we can have them ship like within 24 hours of them picking that flour, that whole cone flour off the bines. They overnight them to us, and we get them in the kettle within 24 to 48 hours of that happening. So it's fresh, it's the whole cone, it hasn't been processed, and it just creates a different flavor. That flavor tends to be, I think, a lot of times like a little brighter, a little smoother, a little more green or vegetal, because obviously like it's a fresh vegetative product, it's not dried. But I think that often translates to kind of like a smooth tobacco quality on like the floral notes of the hop.
No, good call. Should we flex a little bit and talk about our trip out west?
We can, sure.
Yeah, hop selection trip. So we took a trip this year, left on Sunday, came back on Wednesday, kind of a whirlwind trip from Seattle down to Yakima to Crosby Hop Farms, which is south of Portland, and then last night in Portland with a couple beers and back home. But great trip. It was just fun to see all the hop yards, the processing, meet the people that do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's obviously out there, fresh hop beers are a big deal because everybody can just like drive over to the hop yards and pick up their hops the same day. So it was kind of a cool perspective. We've done a fresh hop beer every year that I've worked here. I don't know if you did it the first year or two.
13, we did it. Okay. I think that was the first year and first full season where we could get them. So.
Yep. So we've done it almost every year, but I think we might be abnormal in Iowa in that regard.
I think so. I don't think as many people do them.
But out there, it's not only do people do them, but they have 4, 5, 6, 7 on tap because it's such a big deal. It's harvest season. It's the same way that we kind of feel about harvest season for corn, like a little bit earlier or whatever. Like get excited about it, right? It was cool to get out there and kind of see like how much they embrace it, and that there are other people in the world that kind of feel like we do about fresh hops. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like being on a little bit of an island here in Iowa. But
what I used to do as a home brewer, because I grew Centennial, and they added some Willamette and maybe Cascade. I feel like Cascade, Centennial, Willamette, and made a version of, one year it was a version of Thomas Beck, like before Thomas Beck, but it was just hammered with like Centennial. It was really kind of bitter, but it was great beer. Another year I made a harvest ale that I remember someone at Jimmy Carter at Happy Hour telling me like that was his favorite beer of all time, which was fun. And I don't think we've ever reproduced it here, but
one day,
one day. So like embrace the harvest, embrace fall. It's a great beer. Like it's so fun to play around and to get just that one hop influence so you can really dive in and understand it.
This is definitely one of our favorites, Idaho 7. It's really unique. Like a lot of hops, the way they smell and the way they taste are like pretty connected. This one is still connected, but it's not as connected. The flavor presents a lot of things the aroma doesn't. I get, like a lot of black tea and citrus and floral character out of the aroma of this beer. And those components are still there, but they get kind of in the flavor, but they get kind of almost overridden by like sort of a passion fruity, guava, papaya kind of tropical sweetness. It's just, Idaho 7's like a really cool hop, and it was really awesome to see that even in its fresh form, it like translates that way.
Yeah, and I don't know this hop as well, so it's a good opportunity for me to study it one pint at a time.
So you guys should study it too. Come in. We'll have the Amarillo and the Idaho 7 both on tap, so you'll be able to try them side by side and kind of get the sense of really what flavor changes and aroma changes a single hop change can make to a beer. And it's kind of fun. And then the beer is also just delicious. So,
yes.
Yeah. So for all you hop heads out there, we'll see you this weekend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Check us out on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all those good things.
TikTok.
Yep.
We gotta get that TikTok going.
All right. Cheers.